Can you clap this rhythm? Let's see. I'll count you in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How was it? And how about this one here? Ready? I'll count you in 3 this time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How was it? Easy? Clear? Wobbly? A disaster? Don't worry, it's super common. Dotted notes and rests, and especially double dotted notes and rests, are one of the most common reasons our rhythms go wrong. And yet we know that rhythms are so important because if we change them, we change the music. Not good. In this video, you're going to know how dotted rhythms and double dotted rhythms work. By the end of it, you'll be able to count confidently with dotted and double dotted rhythms in any of your pieces or in a grade 5 theory exam. And you can use this technique anytime. You don't have to take any notes because I've created this PDF for you. It's completely free and you can download it by clicking the link below or the card above here. You only need to write your name and email address and the PDF will come straight into your inbox. You will join my mailing list and receive lots of teaching and learning material, updates about my courses, discount codes, cheat sheets, and much more. Now, let's dive in, shall we? A dot is a dot, meaning there is a symbol that we write after a note or a rest. And I say after, underlined twice, because we shall not mix it up with the dot above or below a note head. That means staccato, so it's an articulation symbol, and it has nothing to do with value. Remember this. So the rhythmical dot is after a note head or a rest, and it means that the value of the note is made longer by itself. For example, if we have a dotted semibreve, this value will last, in fact, a semibreve plus its half, a minim. If we have a dotted crotchet, it's a crotchet plus a quaver. If we have a dotted quaver, it's a quaver plus a semiquaver, and so forth. Now, bear in mind that I didn't say anything about 1.5 or 1 3/4. Why? Because if you have watched this video, you know that the values of the notes depend on the time signature. So if we change the time signature, we change the counting value, and so we change the counting basically. So a semibreve might last 2 sometimes, or 1. And if you want to know more about this, watch this video. It's important. So I'm not saying 1 3/4 because it depends on the time signature, but I was saying the values that I was adding up. And this is very important. This is why the only thing that you need to remember here is the order of the values, these ones. So if you know the order of the values and their fractions and their symbol and their rests, everything will be super easy. Trust me on this. Now, how do you get this cheat sheet? Of course, you can download it completely for free. I link it below or above here. You just click on them and you will get access to loads of cheat sheets that can help you for your revision or for your quick learning. They are really useful, so I'm told. So how do we clap now a dotted value? Okay, it depends on the counting. For example, if we are in 4/4 and we've got a dotted crotchet, let's do it together this time. Ready? On my count. 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, right? Now, if we go faster or if we count faster in general, our dot becomes a little bit more stumbling, of course. For example, let's have a look at these dotted quavers in a compound time signature. Are you ready to count with me? Pause the video if you want to think how to clap for a second. And then on my count, we clap together. Ready? 1, 2, let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Of course, this becomes a little bit more like stumbling. But it depends on the counting. It depends on how fast we need to go or the counting value. Now, sometimes the dot makes the notes longer and they are not necessarily fast. For example, if we look at this dotted minim in 4/4, for example, let's count together. On my count, 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was slow, right? So it all depends on the value the dot is attached to and the pace of the piece. And now I've got a question for you. Can we dot a demi-semiquaver? What do you think? This note here. Yes or no? The answer is yes. We can dot any value, provided that we have another one following. For example, a semi-hemi, demi, semi-quaver cannot be dotted because we don't have anything afterwards. So I feel that it depends on the value, but yes, potentially yes. And what do we do next? Okay, to make your music flow naturally, you need to be able to connect the values together. And this is why this cheat sheet is very important to remember. Because if you know the values in order, you will just quickly combine the values together and pair up the dot with the value next to it. Because this is what we need to do. When we have a dotted value, we need to consider the dot as the half of the starting value. And so we pair it up with the value next to it down. For example, if we have a dotted crotchet, we know that that dot lasts as long as a quaver. So we need to find the other quaver immediately afterwards in the piece. Now, I do say that is a quaver that we need to find, but it could be a quaver or anything equivalent to it. And this is also very important. Anything equivalent to it. So for example, we can have this bar or we can have something like this. So for example, the clapping here would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very quick, because of course the semiquavers are quick. Does it make sense? Or anything equivalent to it. So I can have a quaver, I can have 2 semiquavers, I can have a triplet of semiquavers, I can have 4 demi-semiquavers. Wait, let me try to clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I did it right. So quick. And rests, can they be dotted? Yes, of course we can. We can put a dot anywhere, provided that it makes sense. Listen to this. This rhythm here makes perfectly sense because we have a rhythm. So for example, we can clap. Okay, but if I replace the notes with rests, I would have a rhythm like this, which in fact doesn't make any sense. Because why should I use 2 different values with a dot, making the rhythm more complicated when in fact I need to wait 2 beats in silence? So in fact it will be like, so what's the point? I can just make a longer value. So not always we can dot rests. If we can use a longer value, we will very happily save ink, time, money, and also confusion. Because of course, a score written as more complicated as we can makes our sight reading and our playing less fluent and interrupts the flowing. Remember that the music needs to flow. This is the purpose of written music. We do not want to have like complicated things. Although I know that sometimes you feel that things are complicated when in fact they shouldn't, but it's only because we didn't connect with the way it's written. So now I said that we can use a longer value, but if there were a note instead of this quaver or this semiquaver, well, in this case, we need a dot because of course it would be like, okay, with the rest before. Okay. And now let's make things more complicated. The double dots. Do you know that they exist? Yes, they do exist. The double dot makes a note longer by itself and the half of its half. So for example, if we have a dotted minim, that value will last a minim plus a crotchet plus a quaver. So now you know that it's very important to remember the order of values very, very confidently, because if you know this, you can connect the things. Now, to make the music flow, as I promised I was going to do in this video, we need to remember that the double dotted value must be paired up with the value next to next. So for example, if we have a double dotted crotchet, I skip the quaver and I pair it up with a semiquaver or anything equivalent to it. So you really need to skip one value to be able to pair up and then count and then group or beam things together in an appropriate way that makes sense. And how should we clap it? Do you want to have a go and try to clap this rhythm? Pause the video if you need, and on my count, ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did it go? Shall I do it with you now? Ready? On my count, 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How was it? Have you noticed the difference? the double dot makes the music stumble a little bit more importantly. So we do have a little stumble. And of course, I was clapping a very nice and chilled rhythm. But if I go on to the semiquavers, double dotted semiquavers, that is interesting. It makes it now hemi-demi semiquavers. It's really rare to find it in music. But you can find it if the time signature says that we must count in semiquavers. Yes, you can find it. In slow movements, for example, of a sonata or something, we can have time signatures like 12/16 or 9/16, meaning that we count in semiquavers, meaning that 1, 2 and 3 would be a semiquaver. So we can find it, but it all depends on the time signature. But now you know that you need to stumble a little bit more importantly. Well, let's test your knowledge again. How about this rhythm now? Are you ready? Pause the video, think, and then let's count together. On my count, 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, why this rhythm was not stumbling? Well, it's because of the subdivisions. If you think of the subdivisions, so the double dot and minim is a minim plus a crotchet plus a quaver. And then we need to pair it up with another quaver, which is not stumbling if we count in crotchets. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. If you know about the subdivisions, everything is super clear, because if you understand the subdivisions and if you don't know it, you can watch the video that I mentioned before, or you can get this ebook where everything I'm saying today is written down, and it goes really well with a PDF that you will download for free. I link it below or on the card up here. This ebook is very useful, so I've been told. So we have the subdivisions, and then we just match the subdivisions with something that is on the score, meaning that if it's a long note, it's matched already, and then we put the remaining items where they should be within the counting or the subdivisions. It will all make sense if you know the subdivisions, so don't miss the book and watch the video as well. But because this is an accented note, I need to put a little stress on that note. So let's try. On my count, 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you spot the accent? I hope so. But if you don't, and if you want to master all the terms and signs from grade 1 to grade 5, I've got all sorts of boot camps for you. I link them above or on the card up here, where you can master your understanding of every symbol, every term. As an Italian musician, I'll tell you everything about each term, something that you can't find in any music book, and it will reveal the real meaning of things. As a result, you will be able to take informed decisions about how to play something, and your playing will become amazing, just more engaging, compelling, and it will make sense to you and to all the others that listen to you. Trust me on this. So when we have a simple dot, the rhythm is stumbled, yes, but a little bit more in a balanced way, and it flows more comfortably all the way. When we have a double dot, we stumble a little bit more. We feel a little bit rushed. The short value is much more close to the next thing. Then we need to understand that the time signature really says everything. So you need to master your understanding of time signatures to understand the dotted rhythm and to master them forever. Then you need to remember that the subdivisions are also really important because they really help us matching things and make things logical. Then from that stage, you need to think about the music and make it flow as naturally as you can. Remember that melodies and everything is made up of intervals, so notes, sound, and rhythm. So these two things are super important. And to make music flow, you can always think of the importance of number 1 in each bar, because that number 1 has the stress that you need, the momentum you need to understand everything else. And now don't forget to download the PDF. It includes everything I said today, plus a few more examples and a quiz to test your knowledge. And before I leave, after all I said today, I'd like to know from you, which rhythm is more difficult for you? Simple dotted rhythms or double dotted rhythms? Let me know it in the comments.